Hi, my name is Zai, longtime FPS player, and this is a Cougar 300M. It's a great value, medium-sized mouse. Using Omron switches and a 3090 sensor, it's currently at $40 on Amazon, so it's in the affordable range. First, let's talk about build quality. Here's a listen to the buttons. The left and right buttons are easy to press in, so they should be good for FPS and MOBA games. And they also have enough resistance so that I haven't accidentally clicked them in at all. The side buttons also offer low resistance, and have a light tactile feedback and low travel distance. Personally, these are the kind of side buttons that I like. The DPI button on top has a similar performance, as does the scroll wheel, which is lighter than most. It would probably make a good third button. The wheel also has fairly defined tactile bumps, so it should be good for people who need that. And it scrolls quite smoothly for web browsing. It seems this scroll wheel will suit a lot of people. The mode button underneath has no tactile feedback, but it works, and the onboard memory will store your settings. Overall, a good performance from the buttons. I did a human click speed test where it's based on reactions. This is not a solid test for checking button latency, however it seems to perform well, and I didn't have any problems in game. And when checking how fast I could click the buttons, I got my usual 72 in 10 seconds. I can't jitter click, so I can't test that. There is no rattle on the mouse when shaking it, however the scroll rattles a little when tapping it. This isn't a problem, so I'd call it a well-built mouse. All surfaces are rubberized, which could be slippery for some people as the texture is quite smooth, but I love using these kinds of mice, they feel amazing. Durability could be an issue, but for me it's worth it. These are the mice I prefer using now. The cable is braided and 1.8 meters long. It'll hold its shape and it's still fairly soft. I've used this by blue tacking the cable down and also in a mouse bungee, and both have been good. On the base it has two large mouse feet, top and bottom, which glide smoothly. The shape is quite safe with very few features on either side, but just enough to help you with grip and comfort. On the left there is a thumb groove and a slight incline to help when picking it up, and on the right the incline is more pronounced, which makes it more of a ledge so it's easier to pick up. And the ledge isn't big enough to cause any discomfort. The back is wide, but this is a very familiar design, and should be comfortable for many people. The grip width is about 5.6 centimeters, and the base length is 11.6 centimeters, so it's not far off the 2:1 ratio that should allow for good aim. It's roughly 4 centimeters high and the hump is slightly toward the back. I'd say this would be good for palm grip users with hands between 16 and 19 centimeters, claw grip 17 to 20, and fingertip 18 to 21. Again, that's just a loose guide. The extremes for each may find it a bit uncomfortable, so 21 centimeter hands might be a bit big, but it's still usable. The cable makes it a bit harder to weigh, but it's a light mouse and appears around 93-94 grams. Now to check the sensor at 1600 dpi. The 3090 is not one of the top optical sensors, but I'll start with some rocket jumping. Fairly simple, easy enough, not spinning out, that's a good sign. Next is the sniper test. Zoomed in, moving pixel by pixel. Seems okay. Speeding up a bit and there is some extra movement in there, but I found it to be good enough in game. This is the Cougar 450M with the 3310 sensor for comparison. Straight away, even at the same DPI, you'll see that it's smoother. Now checking for acceleration or deceleration, and it's hard to test this accurately, but after a few tests, it appears there is some slight acceleration. And the liftoff distance is just under 3 DVDs, I'd say around 4mm. And at high speeds it does lose track, so you can make this spin out if you really throw it across the mousepad. This might not be good for low sensitivity players. In the line test, again compared with the 450M 3310 sensor, we see the usual slight jitter of the 3090. This is obvious in the line test, but it's not so obvious in game. I haven't missed any shots because of it. It seems to perform better at 1600 dpi and 1000 Hz, but there's no angle snapping, no skipping, and no sensor rattle. The lift-off movement is fairly random and just tracks movement away from the pad, which is normal, not a bug. In the software you can set 3 different modes and 2 DPI levels, ranging from 400 to 4000, mostly in increments of 400, 125 to 1000 Hz polling rate, and a sniper DPI setting. In the key assignment, you have the usual basic functions, and in advanced, you have the sniper DPI, DPI switch, mode, launch program, and media. To use any, simply drag and drop the feature you want on the selected button. You can record macro here, but I'm not yet qualified to test that feature out. Please leave a comment below if you do test it. And lastly, in the color control, it is an RGB mouse, but the only lights are on the DPI switch. No color cycling, but there is a breathing and fully lit mode, or you can turn it off. Now the important question, can I aim with it? And yes, I can. This is a fairly safe mouse to buy. There are no real gimmicks, it's just a straightforward shape, lightweight, good buttons, decent enough sensor. It's an easy choice, especially for people on a budget. So I'd recommend this to MOBA and FPS players who are looking for a good cheap mouse for all grip styles, depending on your hand size of course. And also whether you find the mouse slippery or not. For me, not an issue, really enjoyed using this.
Last standing. Impressive.
Special thanks to Cougar for sending it out to me. You can find some other Cougar product reviews on screen now. Check the description for links to buy the 300M. Subscribe for more reviews and gaming videos. Like this one, and I'll catch you in the next.